I would like to call this hearing to order, and first of all, I thought we should all introduce ourselves. I'm Harriet Spinell, and I'm chair of the County Ethics Commission.
I'm Phil Sharp. I'm a member of the Ethics Commission and vice chair.
I'm Chuck Robinson, a member of the Ethics Commission.
And I'm Mark Brown, also a member of the Ethics Commission.
I'm Royce Buckingham. I'm with the Whatcom County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. I represent the Commission. Oh, as their attorney.
Okay. And Mr. Roth, would you?
My name is Shane Roth. I'm a complainant.
Ward Nelson being complained on.
Okay. Thank you. As stated, we have received a complaint filed by Shane Roth that County Councilman Ward Nelson violated local and state ethic laws when voting on potential County Council appointees. A hearing on the complaint submitted to us and received February 9th, 2010 was requested. So I'm going to ask Royce Buckingham with County Prosecutor's Office, who will now go through the rules for conducting this hearing so that we're all clear on the process, the board, the complainant, and the respondent, and the public.
All right, the ethics rules are contained in our code, and let's see, I can quote the section here. Okay, under complaint procedures, that's section 2.104.110. It's going to be subsection I, and this is hearings. All hearings on complaints before the Ethics Commission shall be de novo, and a preliminary decision issued pursuant to subsection E2. So if any preliminary decision has been considered, that shall have no force and effect here. This is a de novo proceeding, which means you start anew. We consider everything anew. The complainant shall have the burden of proof by preponderance of the evidence that the violation or violations alleged occurred not less than 2 days prior to the hearing. The list of witnesses shall be served. There have been no witnesses served, so there will be no witnesses called. The parties may testify on their own behalves. At the commencement of the hearing, the commission chairperson shall ask the parties to provide an estimate of time. We've already had it suggested that 30 minutes is an appropriate amount of time for each party, and it may be less, but we'll do at least a limit of 30 minutes. The chairpersons shall issue an order establishing a reasonable limit on the time. It's going to be the 30 minutes for each party to present their case. The complainant may divide his or her allotted time between an opening presentation and a rebuttal, and in this case, I believe Mr. Roth is going to take 20 minutes for his opening and then save 10 for his rebuttal. All testimony shall be given under oath administered by the clerk. Subject to control by the chairperson, each party shall be permitted to cross-examine the witnesses. There are no witnesses to be cross-examined. The clerk shall electronically record all of the proceedings and shall assign exhibit numbers to the documentary evidence. Chairperson shall have full authority to regulate the conduct of the hearing and may take any action reasonably necessary to maintain an orderly proceeding. In this case, if anyone's familiar with the Court of Appeals, it'll be done in the manner that the Court of Appeals does argument. Argument first for the complainant, then the respondent will argue, and then back to the complainant for a rebuttal. The chairperson may continue the hearing to a date or time certain if such a continuance is necessary. At the conclusion of the hearing, the Commission shall deliberate and enter its oral decision, which shall include findings and conclusions in support of the decision. The chairperson shall direct Commission staff to prepare a draft written decision reflecting the oral decision. A final written decision shall be signed and dated by the committee chairperson. The clerk shall deliver the final written decision to each party and anyone who has submitted a written request therefore. Final written decision may, within 30 days of the date of the written decision, be appealed by either the complainant or the respondent to the Whatcom County Superior Court by writ of certiorari pursuant to RCW 7.16. That's the procedures.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay. I think we should probably administer the oath.
Madam Chair, may I have
Yes.
one preliminary matter?
Yes.
I noted that the materials that the complainant submitted on appeal are broader than the complaint. The complaint, under county code, the complaint must state a detailed factual description of the alleged violations and refer to the specific provisions of the code of ethics that has allegedly been violated. The scope of this hearing, this is a hearing on the complaint, and consequently we're guided by the issues raised in the complaint, and no new issues can be raised on appeal. In the complaint that was filed, the act complained of is voting on 24 nominations, and it cites an alleged violation of two provisions of the code, 2.104.020 and 2.104.043A. So those are the only matters alleged in the complaint. It's the voting. On appeal, there have been two new issues raised. The voting issue is raised, but in addition to that, the claim is that there was a violation in Mr. Nelson's nomination in and of itself, and that he voted on a motion to send the vacancy appointment to Executive Kremen. Those are new items that are cannot be raised for the first time on appeal because they're not in the complaint. And therefore, I respectfully request a ruling that would limit this hearing to the acts alleged and the violations alleged in the complaint.
Okay. Well, it is my understanding that we are here to hear and discuss the original complaint submitted to us and which all members have had in a timely fashion, and that this hearing was set based on what we had at that time. That's my understanding.
I concur with Mr. Sharp that the law is fairly clear that you cannot broaden the scope of the hearing in brief 2 days before the hearing.
Okay. Are there any other preliminary matters that any other members or the parties have to bring up?
Well, I think that you were going to ask for a motion to, Mr. Sharp, we can ask for a motion.
Oh,
On this subject?
oh, okay.
Yeah, I move that the appeal be limited to the facts and the alleged violations contained in the complaint, and that the new matters raised on appeal be excluded from the hearing.
Is there a second?
So just for clarification, which of the two sections of the code we should be addressing?
The two sections of the code that are cited in the complaint are Section 2.104.020 and Section 2.104.043A. Just for clarity, 2.104.020 says that a public official, the pertinent part, a public official who has a private interest in any law or policy proposed or pending shall disclose the fact to the department head of which he is a member, and in the case of a county council member, shall not vote thereon. Section 2.104.043, prohibited acts, subsection A, says no county official may use his or her position to secure special privileges or exemptions for himself, herself, or others.
What about this one?
That's just a
Definition.
The complaint does cite 030, which is simply a definition of private interest, which is contained in 020. It says that a public official has a private interest, and 030 simply defines what a private interest is. Is that clear?
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
A second.
Any further discussion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Are there any other preliminary matters that need to be brought forth? Okay. Suzanne Milner? Mildner is the clerk, and she will administer the oath to the parties.
Begin with the Shane Roth.
Whatever.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you shall give in the matter before this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Suzanne, you got
At the same time, I'm sorry. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you shall give before this commission shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Thank you.
Sorry, one more order. Susan, do you need to identify Ward Nelson? When you asked him to swear the oath, you didn't identify.
I, Ward Nelson, swear I do.
Okay. I will ask, as Royce pointed out, we sort of looked at 20 to 30 minutes, and I will ask Mr. Roth and Mr. Nelson how many minutes you think your presentation will take, and that includes the whole time you're allotted to speak.
I would say no more than 30 minutes. I would try to go for 20 minutes in the original presentation and 10 minutes for any rebuttals before closing.
Okay, because it's the combined time.
The entirety is 30 minutes.
Okay, Mr. Nelson.
Same.
Okay. There will be 30 minutes allotted for each one, and that does include any opening statements and the rebuttal.